Good morning. Actually, it's afternoon. I just wanted to come share a little bit more about my experience over the weekend and changing my mood. So I was in a really bad fibro flare. There were just crazy storms. And so I had about 4 days of just excruciating pain. And I also suffer from this weird paralysis, and I think it hits me from what I can start to put together when I'm feeling doubt about myself. And I may not even be aware that I'm feeling that, but I think that's how it comes out. So I'm not in my right mind when I'm in that much pain. But I have this weird thing where sometimes I get overwhelmed with decision making and even trying to come up with what the options are for the decision. So I Saturday wanted to get out, wanted to do something, wanted to improve my mood, and I got into this paralysis where I didn't know what to do. And I spent hours looking at websites about things going on in Denver and free things, and there's this and that, and I sat there thinking about all of them and trying to decide until they were all over, and I couldn't do any of them. Fortunately, I had planned Saturday night, so that got me out of the house. But yesterday morning, right back into that same paralysis. And I was really proud of myself because the first thing I did was think of a couple people that I've had conversations with that have said, call me when you're there. And a couple of people that have inspired me recently to get off my ass and do something. So I reached out to both of them and they just weren't available at that time, which is just life. No big deal. And then I remembered that someone told me in a conversation, about having my morning ritual, my morning routine. And I remembered, even though I have an alert on my phone, I still haven't been doing that. So I was like, the first thing on that list is to meditate. And that gave me the idea of going somewhere because I knew of a place that I had wanted to meditate outside and see this beautiful piece of art. And I did it. I got in my car and I went there. And then I remembered that part of registering your car in Colorado, you can add a state parks pass. And so I can go to all the state parks, and there are a dozen or so just here around this area. So I drove to one of them, and it wasn't, it was different than I expected, but it was really beautiful to look at. There were tons of people. It was amazing energy. And then I drove home, and the drive took me back through the country and close along the mountains and the foothills, and went and stopped in and at my sister's house and saw my brother and my sister and my niece. And then, and when I say brother and sister, it's my brother and his girlfriend, but that's how I call them, so I know it sounds weird. Anyway, my niece, they were going to a concert, and my niece wanted me to hang out. So then I ended up hanging out with my niece. The next thing I know, it's after 11. Greg and Tanya are coming back from the concert, and my day is done, and I turned it around. Today, I woke up knowing it was going to be better weather, and it is. But I woke up feeling empowered because I took my situation and I worked on myself. I did the work in my head to get myself out of the little spirals, funk, the eddy in the water that I was in. And that, my friends, is why we do this work of healing, is because we want to be able to create a life that's better. And we have to create it with what we have. We can seek out new resources and opportunities, but all we have is what we have. And so I really am feeling empowered today because I took charge. I recognized the pattern that I was in, and I broke out of it. It was hard. It took hours of mental work to do that, but I did it. I get in my own way all the fucking time. I am my biggest roadblock, my biggest pain in the ass. And while I want to love that part of me, I also want to be able to regulate, and I want to be able to do the things that I truly want to do. So doing the hard work of facing those blocks, those places where I was resisting, it really made a big difference. And today I feel like a whole new person. My message is just to find the balance of being kind and gentle to yourself, but also holding yourself accountable, kicking your own ass into gear, and using the tools and resources you need to do that. For me, it's really, really excruciatingly painful to reach out and ask for help for anything. And I talked to one of my friends today who wasn't available when I texted her the other day, and she's like, "Why didn't you just text me that you needed me?" And I said, "I'm working on it. I couldn't quite get to that level, but it's progress, and that's makes me a better and stronger me today than I was yesterday." And honestly, that's all we really need to do.